what it's telling me. That's weird. Okay, so a couple of things. So where are you? You're on Regina. You've gone and placed yourself on Regina, which is the sort of one of the big capital worlds. It's a Class A planet. It's got a population that's actually halfway decent. Hold on, where is it? Is it this one? I think it is. Does it have the stats at the top? Yeah, A. So, yep, beautiful starport, lovely population, lots of people, lots of tech. It's not a backwater. Although, is it a backwater? Good question. So, having survived the destruction of Twilight's Peak, which unfortunately cost the lives of, sort of 100 operatives of the Scout Service in their duties under the Omicron Division, you have found yourselves bereft of support because, as you know, it takes up to 2 years for messages to come back and forwards across from the central government out to the boonies, which is where you are, and you've also lost your ship. So, unfortunately, left behind on the planet with the Planet Killer, which didn't actually kill the planet, but it did do a significant amount of damage to the crust of that part of the planet. So you've been hiding out in Regina, let's say, give or take, for 3 months, sort of working out what you're going to do next and getting your act together.
Just working out, doing muscles, stretches, lifts.
You're building
I learned
skills,
geography,
developing
guys.
talents.
It's going to help us help me fly next time.
I mean,
Regina,
there is geography in space, but
no, I know every landmass on planet Earth. Why?
Try not to land on the red stuff.
Got to start somewhere, guys. Why all this cynicism?
So to be clear, Earth is not just in the center of the empire.
I know
it's on the far other side.
It's far away. I don't think I've ever been
far away. You're at least 4 years away from Earth.
That's the joke, GM.
Although Orcus, he can harken back to good old Mother Earth. A couple of really key things about Regina. It's actually a pretty lawful world. So the laws are pretty stringently enforced. There's a Bureau of Public Safety, which has pretty broad powers to arrest you. Weapons are highly managed on the planet. So yes, if you have, say you had a plasma or fusion weapon, as a simple but potentially relevant example, you can't carry it around on the street. People have opinions. In case I'm just flagging that.
It's not really a fusion weapon. I mean, nobody would think that a fusion weapon would be so small.
That is true. It's clearly not a fusion weapon.
Water pistol.
Because no one builds them that small. It's magic. So that's been going on, and out of the kind of blue, really, you get a message. Now you're in hiding, but assumedly you're in some sort of shared group hideout. You've kind of gravitated to a slightly lower end of town model where people ask less questions of people who choose to live in slightly dodgy accommodation. And you're kind of all there, and there's a knock at the door. There's someone at the door.
Uncle Ben.
Well,
you haven't had a lot of messages.
Yeah,
obviously.
All right, I float over, and is there some sort of like door visualization panel that
I'm assuming you have done the minimum level of we will protect our hideout from.
That's right.
Yeah. So
who's out there?
Okay,
there look out under the newspaper.
There's a person wearing the uniform of a delivery company. They look about 18 years old, give or take. They're human, as a relevant point. Although of Villani rather than Terran stock. And yeah, they're holding a small box. And this is an expensive way to
deja
deliver.
vu here.
This is an expensive. Yes, you've been right here before, and this is an expensive way to deliver things. Like it's not cheap in comparison to just sending a drone to drop off the package.
All right, I look around.
Briefcase.
We'll open the door, I reckon.
Okay, you open the door, and the small, the reasonably youngish human lifts up the box and goes, he looks at you for a second. The message I think is for you, and I've been paid to deliver this box to. And he sort of reaches into his pocket, pulls out his little data pad, flicks through the messages for a second. To those who have seen the end of worlds.
Wrong room, mate.
Seems a little bit dramatic.
I'm here for the drama.
And he just knows that he'll know it's us. Yeah.
No.
Yeah.
He looks at you for a second and goes, "So you're like a band, right?"
Right. Yeah.
It's more of a theater. It's more of a theater thing. Don't worry about it.
Right.
Yeah, rock on, dude.
Sure. And I reach out with my Waldo arm to take it.
Yep. Gives it to the Waldo arm.
Yeah, and then I erase his memories.
Just because you can. Just because you can.
I won't erase.
You can't remember that he delivered it.
He's gonna come back going, "I've got a delivery for you, but I don't know where it is. Sign here."
Sorry, but that's actually not. This is literally the whole thing. Is like we don't want to be known that they're here. Like this could be us being fucking detected. All right,
it is a loose end.
It's a loose end, and if he does it, like I say, nah, soz man, wrong peeps. I don't know what you're here for. That's hilarious, right?
All right.
So
go for it.
Okay, cool. Radio, I do it. It's 3 intellect points, but I have edge 2, so it's only 1.
Yep.
So I'm just trying to.
It's amazing.
Alt.
It's not ethically dubious at all.
And you make an intellect roll.
Okay. Right. Have you set the difficulty?
Yeah, I think 3's fair.
All right.
First roll of the evening.
Make it.
Hey.
It's a success. Woo!
Barely. Scraped it in.
I take the box. I close the door.
5 minutes.
5 minutes. The last 5 minutes are gone.
So you close the door.
Yep.
You took this from a normal, everyday thing to something he's going to think about for the rest of his life.
Exactly.
No, he's going to go. I'm not even going to answer the door. One of you mooks is going to answer the door.
No, he's not going to knock it. He's like, where the fuck did the package go?
So this mook is going to take the package and start going over it with every single scanner and device that I have, fully anticipating it once again blowing my hands off because we're here again.
That's why we use the Waldo arm, isn't it?
All right, so
the replacement arm.
You're scanning the package with every bit of kit you've got.
I've got my robot is scanning. I'm scanning.
It's all good. I won't ask you to roll. As far as you can tell, the only thing in the box is a single sheaf of what looks like paper.
I am alert and alarmed, and I'll hand this over to the robot-handed person because I like my hands, and I'm very sad about what happened to them last time. Still haunted, in fact.
Yeah, I think that was somewhat self-inflicted, as I recall, but sure. Okay. The upshot of that. By the way, so you're doing all this scanning to determine what has happened. There's been about a minute of silence at the door, and then there's a very tentative knock.
Rats go. I'm going around the corner. Rats go open.
I'll
Does
answer
anyone
it.
answer the door, or is there just?
Yeah,
a-
Kush-
Surely we just ignore
Kush will
it.
answer it. In bathrobe and bunny slippers.
Okay. The door. He's looking at you. He's looking around.
Look,
He's got his data pad out. Look,
I
I'm
help
really
you?
sorry about this. I'm a bit lost. I think this is where I meant to drop off a package, but I seem to have misplaced it.
you lost my pretzels?
Um,
What am I going to
Uh,
eat while I watch Hollow Novellas? I need my salty snacks, god damn you.
Interstellar Maths is on shortly.
The sound of telenovelas are in the background.
Look, I'm really sorry. I think I've been robbed.
You
You knew
think
this was
you were
gonna
robbed
happen.
of my pretzels?
Well, I don't know if they were pretzels, sir, or it was just a box, and it was about this big, and he's like holding his hands up like this. And it was
Is it about the size of this box? No.
no. I don't know. Look, I'm really sorry. If I lost your pretzels, I'm sure the company will cover it with insurance. Can I just get you to sort of
I want pretzels.
sign?
I want to speak to your manager.
Busting out
God.
the space Karen.
Okay. Presses a button on his data pad, and up pops a little icon, little holographic of a person somewhat largish, in the same uniform that he's in. Yeah. Can I help you there?
Your employee lost my pretzels. I require pretzels. I need my salty snacks.
Sorry. Hold on. I'm just looking up their order. Just give me 1 second. Well, I don't think they were. Well, we don't have any evidence of pretzels, sir.
How am I supposed to comprehend the intricacies of the relationship between the Sector Admiral and his florist without my salty, crunchy snacks? I'm missing my holonovela.
Okay, I tell you what. I'll send the courier to go and get you salty snacks.
Excellent.
Is that what
Thank you.
Is that what you need, sir? Is that
That would
what
be
you ordered?
perfect.
It's not what he
Okay.
needs, but it's
That
what
would
he
be perfect.
deserves.
Thank you.
Could you get some chocolate covered ones as well?
I'll add some chocolate covered ones as well.
I'm busy opening this box.
Meanwhile, in another room. All right, so the courier runs off to buy chocolate-coated salty pretzels. Meanwhile, yeah, there's a single letter. There's a folded piece of paper in the box.
We unfold it.
I scan it first.
It explode any second. All right, there's you scan the paper. It appears to be paper. You scan the ink. As far as you can ascertain, it's ink. Interestingly, it does appear to be ink made from an organic source, as in like the ink of a squid or something, like it's living animal sort of stuff. But it's ink.
Okay.
And there's a note. You've opened it. It's in handwriting. It's in Angalic, which is the sort of lingua franca, and it says, "Hello, dear friends. As the only people who I can trust with this information, and noting your current circumstances, I imagine you'd be keen to find your way out of them. I am dead.
Well, that's good writing. A dead person.
And
Took a sudden turn for the worse.
I would suggest to you that there are things that I was involved in that you would prefer no one else discovered. You will find my body, I imagine, at the morgue by this point. Please feel free to investigate my death. And who knows, you might just find enough to get you back in the good graces of those who you care so much about. Kind regards, Uncle Glenn.
Oh no, Uncle Flynn!
Remember
Holy
how
fuck.
tough that?
Dead?
Yeah. His if we dig all that tech out of his body, imagine how much. Anyway,
That'll get us in the good
my
graces.
question is how did they get him?
My tools are ready.
Yeah, I've got plastic.
I will find a way.
All right, let's go. Leave a note. Leave pretzels by door.
Absolutely.
Back.
I'll leave my little robot behind, and the robot will come find us and deliver the pretzels when they arrive.
Okay. Awesome. How long does it take Kush to get out of bunny slippers and a soft robe? That's my question.
Well, he wears a yellow robe regularly, so it's just a matter really of changing footwear.
Yeah, outdoor bunny slippers now. That's the critical element.
I'm kind of inspired by the idea that Kush is getting around in a bathrobe and no one's picked it up yet. All right.
Hold on,
on a
you're making the assumption that it matters.
No, that's a fair point. No one else actually cares. Hey, you do you, buddy.
It's
you
not-
do you.
It's not just a bathrobe. They're comfortable raiments.
Okay.
Wow, you've just made them classy. They're raiments.
The soft terry toweling feel of my bathrobe
That's
makes
right.
me comfortable. All right, so you will need to find the morgue. You'll need to find the right morgue because Regina is a big place and the city is a big place on Regina. Like the population of the city is in the hundreds of millions.
Well, I think what we need to do is because Regina, what level is Regina? Okay, that level, cool.
Yeah.
Surely,
I mean, Uncle Vlad.
The morgue's
Okay.
info potentially would be searchable data. So we could
Yes.
upload a description saying, missing family member checking morgues.
By all
Yep.
means. Yep. Sounds like. Do you want to do anything to make So the question is, are you just putting up a public alert for
No.
it, or are you actually seeking to locate information? Sorry.
So what's the tech level relative to us? Like, is breaking into computers a terrible idea? Or
No.
Anyway.
You guys are more than capable. Like it's equivalent to your capabilities.
okay, so actually, I could probably find a terminal in any kind of government type building and potentially get access to the records of where this guy might be.
Cool.
So I'll want someone to. You'll have to get into a government building because this is a place of reasonably high law levels. So government buildings have opinions about people just wandering around inside them, and then you will have to obviously, hack a terminal, which to your point is not more complicated than hacking any other terminal, but is a thing.
So I imagine
right.
a hospital, there'd be a hospital around, and hospitals have a million computers all over the place, right?
They do. It's a very good point.
Moving,
and people wander
and
around them
coming and
all
going,
the time.
and they're all public spaces.
And frequently
So-
morgues are attached to hospitals, which is a useful side note.
Maybe we get lucky.
Yep.
So I have a suggestion. So I have a new skill, and it is spin identity, which basically allows me to, if on success, to convince people that I'm something that I'm not. All right. So I'd like you to all meet Dr. Orcus Magnificus, visiting forensic science and surgeon from.
Now, I also, sorry.
Oh no, go for it. No,
Well, I also, part of the reason for this direction, have a new skill, but we've got to take these new things for.
I've already got to abuse an 18-year-old's mind.
Well, no, what I'm saying. So my new skill is disguise, and so Dr. Orcus Magnificus, visiting surgeon, has an offsider nurse in a nondescript lab coat that nobody will pay any attention to.
Yes, attending resident. Love it.
Bowing and scraping and following after all of the angry doctor's German commands.
Okay. So all right. So you're breaking into the hospital as Orcus Magnificus.
We're not breaking in. I'm
Dr.
asking you to take
Orcus.
to my office. Thank you.
There you go. I'll bring you all over to the pretty city picture. Okay.
Visiting president's office.
So
With the
so
computer.
so you can do that. You can So what does it cost you to do?
2 intellect points.
Which you have an edge of 2.
Correct.
Do you not? Is that right?
I do.
And spin identity. 2 plus. What's the 2 plus about? If you attempt to convince more than one creature per additional field, creatures remain so for up to an hour unless your actions. Right. Okay. So it really depends on how much you want to do it.
Yeah.
Okay.
So how I read this. Sorry, go on. You first.
Yeah. Go on.
I was going to say how it says this: you convince all intelligent who can see and hear you, and that you are something, right? So the 1 point per additional thing. I'm assuming that's somebody else I come across who wasn't previously convinced. Is that how it works?
I'll allow it for this one. I think it's probably going to. I'm going to be upfront. It'll probably resolve back to how much they care about who you are. So as you move through the hospital and you move with purpose and authority, and you've gotten through the front doors, people are going to assume that you belong.
Yeah.
They're not going to look very hard at you, right? They're going to assume that you are there for a reason. If you were in a space where you were trying to convince a bunch of people who really cared, like guards,
Gotcha.
who were guarding a door, then no, you would have to pay the additional price for each additional person.
Just wanted to understand what it meant.
I think it actually means what it says, which is for every additional person you're trying to convince, it costs you an extra intellect point, which makes it pretty expensive. But it's also a magical ability in this.
Yeah. All right. Cool. Anyway, so
I also have. So I've had a cipher for this entire time that has never had a reason to use. So I also have a visage changer cipher that could change the appearance of one human-sized creature. So we could have a third one of us in disguise coming on this trip into the hospital and then hopefully the morgue. And it lasts 24 hours. So if we get into the hospital, find out where we're going, get to the morgue, we should be able to stay.
But you could make me look human.
I could make you. I mean, it doesn't say I couldn't. Changes the appearance of one human-sized creature.
But you don't have to. Like, this is a
Okay.
world with aliens. So aliens are aliens. There are anyway, you'll meet one soon who is explicitly very alien. All right.
All right.
Okay, so
I would just like to say that I find the dolphin and the fake handlebar mustache with the monocle very convincing.
I'm imagining you've got this big bubble helmet on, and then you're putting stethoscope over the top of
It's
it.
not a bubble helmet. I've got like misters. I'm moisturizing.
No, but it already worked because he's actually an orca, not a dolphin.
Yeah, that's
Disguise
what
is
we
very
really.
convincing.
Yeah, that disguise is very
Anyway,
convincing. Good
So
point.
I'm
right.
going to use. I think I'm going to have to do a 2-step ability, right?
Yeah.
So I'm going to use demeanor of command at the front desk to get to like a senior hospital person,
Okay. Yep.
right? And so, because the point is, just convincing the receptionist isn't going to do it, right? So the goal is I get the receptionist to get me to like the hospital administrator, or
Yep.
you know, and then I'm going to use spin identity to tell them that I've been appointed by the hospital's board of directors as a visiting
Morgan
Forensic
Australia.
pathologist. Go with forensic
Yeah,
pathologist. It was
forensic
where you were heading
pathologist. Yeah,
before.
and I'm just here to observe, and I'm sure you'd have an office for me right now.
So can I get a persuasion roll with the benefit of your aura of command or your commanding presence? So I
Okay.
think that gives you a free asset in relation to your persuasion.
A free level of asset. A
yeah.
free level. Yep. Okay. So I go into skills. I go to persuasion. I
You
hit
click on the die with the alt click.
Yep. All right. Cool. So
and you make all the changes that you want to make.
all right. So I got one asset.
Yeah.
And I am. What is the? Have you set the thing?
I have. Yep.
Okay. So it's 6. Is that right? Is that how I read it?
No, it's 4.
Oh. I never know how to read this. So with this asset, it says final difficulty of 2. Is that right? I might just hit
Maybe.
the button again.
Yeah. With the asset, it should be difficulty 3. Oh, you're trained.
That's
No, it
right.
should be 2 because you're trained.
Okay.
You're not just. You're already trained, so it's actually 2. Yeah, that's right. Yep. Spot
So
on.
so feels really stupid. That means it's a 6 or higher, right?
Correct.
Okay, so that is a 74%.
You could also throw an additional level of effort on it at the cost of 1 intellect if you wanted to drop it to a 3.
Yeah, I'm doing that. All right,
Okay.
here we go. I am.
We
I am.
already knew this is how it
I am
works.
spending an XP to re-roll that.
So hold on. No. Oh, can you do that?
That's what it says.
Nope.
Look, I can spend
Nope,
XP
only- you can only do that when the GM's offering you one, so you'd otherwise gain one. But when it's
No. No, it
I'm pretty
says
sure.
that you,
I'm pretty sure it says
in the book it says you can spend your XP to re-roll your own dice, not after a DM thingo.
Yeah.
Sure, I read that
okay.
today.
All right.
I will.
Argue that.
Okay.
It's in the experience chapter.
Okay. Do you
Because I'm
want to
pretty sure
spend
it
an XP?
It explicitly
Right.
says, "Don't do it a lot because it gets really expensive."
I know, but I'm not taking that one. That one can get.
That's like blows our whole cover. Is that one?
It literally ruins the whole thing.
I really thought that I would do starting the game off with. We're just doing this really simple thing, and then it's.
But if you're a little one, doesn't it give you a free intrusion, DM?
No, but it doesn't give you
Roll
XP.
it.
Yeah.
Oh, I'm sorry. You
Yeah.
re-rolled it. It doesn't matter. I apologize.
Okay, go for it. Reroll it. Cost you an XP.
Yeah, well, I've paid the XP.
Cool.
So good.
Ah!
Better.
Amazing.
Only this time it's
I'm the only one down there.
it's like a 1 followed by 20, followed by 1, followed by 20. Okay. All right. So you get a 20, which is a major
Oh.
success.
Oh,
I feel emotional whiplash.
Yeah, it's so hard to know what's going on
The
now.
highs
No
and
one
lows of
can
this
keep up.
roller coaster.
all right. So what's happened?
so-
Magnificent.
Yes. So they go, oh my God, we were expecting you. We had so I didn't
That's
but
amazing.
we've got a different name. I'm a bit confused, but we were expecting a forensic pathologist to come in today to coming in
Fuck, we've
from
got
ISS.
4 hours.
Such a
guys, and
fine
we're-
mustache, though.
Yeah. And they give you a tag. It's you're already in the system, sir. Just to be clear.
It's a username and password.
Look, we've set you up. Here's your, and they give you the equivalent of the piece of paper with your password and your user ID written on it. Look, thank you so much for gracing us with your presence. By the way, and she reaches down underneath the desk, pulls up a data slate like pad thing, and says, "Could I get your signature, please?" And
Of course.
and you can see there's a image of
Moustache.
forensic pathology and a life of investigation, and the title, and underneath the title is the name of this individual who you can choose later, whoever it is, because you might need to use that identity at some point in the future.
Has a much finer mustache.
Yeah.
I had some surgery recently.
You're pretty sure that name is actually associated. I can't remember what their actual name is, but the alien race that live on Alpha Centauri, and who monitor the Soleimani Rim for the Imperium. Anyway, but you're fine. It's one weird alien is another weird alien. So you do this, and they give you the log on IDs and give you a little badge and say, "Oh, I didn't realize you were bringing an assistant." But look, let me.
Do the paperwork.
We can set something up for them just very quickly. Just give me a moment. I'll get them a visitor's pass so they can come with you, and you're ushered through the doors by your adoring fan.
Yes.
Who loves the idea of, who's going to be talking to their mother about how they met the famous author of Forensic Pathology: A Life of Investigation today, and will be very excited. You move into the room, you find a data terminal, you now have ease of access, so you get an asset, Antos, for your attempted access of the system.
An asset. Difficulty 4?
Yeah.
And then here comes the 1 to balance back out again.
Yep, the coin flip.
I'm expecting a 1 because I got a 20. That's what we get.
This is the coin flip generator.
21. Hold
There's
on.
nothing.
Can someone else roll a dice? I just want to see. If
No.
it happens again.
Because if
save
you're going
it.
to spend an XP, you need to let him re-roll it because his 20's coming.
Are you going to spend an XP, or are you going to allow me to have my intrusion?
Oh. Man, it hurts to spend them. Look, we've come this far. I will
We're
spend an
literally
XP.
2 rolls in.
Three.
No, 1 didn't.
Three. Oh, 1 didn't count. Okay. Well, then, no, it's still 3 because you rolled. Oh, no, you didn't roll to erase. Fair point. Okay, yeah, 2 rolls.
Final difficulty 1. There we go.
There we go.
The reign of terror is over.
Oh, sweet Jesus.
Okay, so you hack the system, and you're looking for, you know what Vlan looks like, or at least broadly what he looks like. So you're looking for, a human of a certain age. You locate them. That's not that hard to do. So, yep, they're in a morgue. You didn't roll a 20, so they're not in this hospital per se. But they are nearby.
Right. Can the administrator write us an access pass?
No, we
It's like, can we ask? So more reasonably, we could ask the administrator if our passes would, the current level of access they've set up. Of course, that would allow us to access all of the local health facilities to, check in on the results of any of the cases that we might have, such as the morgue up the road. Oh
yeah, absolutely, of course. It seems completely reasonable. So they will give you access. This is like a properly advanced society where public health with a networked health system is a given. Not something that you have to think about.
Civilized Earth.
Yeah. So let's just assume that a high-tech world with a high law level is going to have an interconnected digital health system that runs across all of its facilities, and it's going to operate a public health system because it's cheaper than all the other options.
Yep.
They do both of those things. I'm going to give Regina that much. Just going to give it that much. So yeah, you can go to the other hospital, of course, and visit the morgue. It's not a problem.
Great. We head over to the other hospital. There's nothing else we want to do here, I don't think.
No,
it doesn't feel safe based on the ones you're rolling.
No, that's right.
Morgue doesn't feel
right.
safe.
So I assume you gather up all of your friends at this point, and you all decamp to the morgue.
Yeah.
Right. It's a morgue. It's not well secured. They've managed to manage down the number of body snatching incidents reasonably strongly. You have passes to get in. You get in. It's pretty quiet. There's a couple of robots wandering around, doing stuff, assumably mostly cleaning. There's a sort of couple of late night morgue attendants. Oh, maybe it's midday, actually. Hold on. Why am I assuming it's night? Because one should only visit morgues at night. That does make sense. But let's assume you've decided to just go whenever. You can actually access the body. It's not even hard. It's just there.
You just open the hatch in the wall and
don't put any of our energy drainy stuff near it.
Now can I need Is that it?
I'm already cracking my knuckles.
Hold my beer.
Hey, Clank, would you like to decide whether you're going to accept my intrusion?
Reclaim the experience we just lost.
Sure. Who between the two of you, who wants it more?
Whichever. I think we got the same.
Antos can have it. It's fine.
Okay. All right, going to Antos then.
Okay. Right. Yeah. Okay. Cool. Yeah. So, it's good to know. So you're scanning the body, right?
100. Oh. Yes, because that's what I've been saying. That's what I did to a fucking envelope with a piece of paper in it. So I will absolutely scan this one now, despite all the misgivings that your wording just gave me.
Nice. Okay. So your scanning devices, they feed to your robot. your little drone. Oh, by the way, your drone. Sorry, important side note. While people
Yep.
were having their adventure of a lifetime getting into the hospital, your pretzels arrived.
Sweet.
So you've got
Nice.
pretzels.
Were they chocolate salted pretzels?
They were.
Okay. Clank, you'll have some pretzels waiting for you when you return. I'm a Varga. I can't eat chocolate.
Oh, well, well,
You
look,
can have carob though.
but also, like, we could have teamwork. Like, I could take, like, suck the chocolate bits off and then. No, that's disgusting. I forget I said that. Rewind.
Let's just edit that one out, shall we?
Yeah. I think you're assuming things about the parameters of our relationship that haven't quite been hammered out.
Okay, so going well so far.
So yeah,
Okay, so-
I'm scanning my little robots with me. He's like holding the scanner up as well, helping me out.
Yeah, and where does the scanner, like, does the scanner have a direct interface with your brain? Just a
No, I
question.
don't think so. I think I've got a wrist computer, so imagine it's all going on my little Fallout Pip-Boy.
Ah, that's right. You wanted a Fallout Pip-Boy, which I didn't admit last time. I have no idea what it is because I've never played Fallout.
Oh.
But anyway, I will.
It's
But
like
I
a
am going to watch the
wrist-mounted iPhone.
TV show. So, assumedly, in the not too distant future, I will know what a Fallout Pip-Boy is. Because I will watch the TV
you'll
show
know.
because Walter Groggins is going to be in it, and that is a good
Oh,
enough
yeah,
reason to
that
watch
show-
any TV show.
The trailer looked amazing.
Yeah, yeah. He's playing the ghoul. Not that I care. He's just
Yeah,
amazing.
he's cool.
All right. So, okay. So you're scanning away. Okay. So you've scanned this body before, right? Like you yourself personally have scanned this body before.
Yeah, so
All
I'm
the
going to go
bits
to the
better
most
be in
like
there.
interesting parts last time. Yeah.
Yeah. So you scan the whole body.
Mhm.
There's lots of vacant space in the body.
Oh,
Boo.
Oh,
boo,
he
yes.
stole all his toys, which are our toys, our inheritance from our uncle.
I'm going to start making a list.
What
Right,
would have
Sam.
fitted in that box? And he's been killed
Mhm.
with a single shot to the heart with an
Can
energy
I-
weapon.
Can I tell if the vacancies were before or after that shot? Like, are they post-mortem?
Okay, I want a skill roll, please.
Coolio. All right. Now, I've got xenotechnology. Does that mean that I'll be skilled in this?
yeah.
More biology than that, actually.
Which I also have as well. So, haha.
Yep, I'm just before you click on anything, let me just get you the right difficulty level there.
Cool. Also, my wrist computer, I forgot this does because I actually like reread what all my shit does. My wrist computer gives me an asset for most knowledge-based tasks.
Okay,
So
so
that
you can have an
also-
asset for your biology roll. Yep.
So trained, asset, and I'm going to throw a point of effort into this as well. Am I
Okay.
good to roll?
I don't know. Hey.
Yep, hang on. Where's the assets? There's the assets. So trained, asset, and roll. Boo.
You got nothing.
Wow, that would have taken a lot because even with all that, I would have needed the 16. Is that how I'm reading that? Sorry,
you
I
are
needed
reading
an
that
18.
correctly.
All right. So I'm going to point out all the holes. I'm going to say no idea if this one was before or after the fact, but it looks like we've got somebody stolen our inheritance. What had been gifted to us. Can we get access to the staffing list of this place, like the mortuarist?
Yes, you can. The morgue attendants, but yes, you can get the morgue attendants. Can I? You can also very rapidly discover that the equipment, like, so there were goods, there were personal effects found with the body.
Mhm. As in, like, stored away.
Yeah.
Yep.
Can I just check? Is there a
Mhm.
police report linked to this?
There is.
Can we access the police report from here? The forensic pathologist might want the access to that.
Yep, you can access you can't access certain elements of the police report unless you want to try and hack them.
Mhm.
You can find out stuff that you would normally expect a forensic pathologist to need to know.
Yeah, so where he was killed, what he was found with, that kind of stuff. How long ago? Who brought him in? Has an autopsy been already done? Those kind of things. Yeah.
Yeah,
You should know
you
that.
can't
you're a
find out
doctor.
who brought him in. You can't find any related entity stuff as a forensic pathologist. There's no logical reason why a forensic pathologist would need that information.
Well,
But
surely
you
it'll be
can
who lodged the report.
Yeah, that's a police person.
Yeah, but it'll say that police person's name, is what I mean.
It would.
Privacy,
Detective
mate, privacy.
Oddie. It says Detective Oddie.
Right. So Oddie's going on my kill list.
But yeah, so
Was
they
the
were
org-
found dead in a hotel room.
Mhm.
A single shot to the heart with a high energy laser. They had significant amounts of effectively of a drug in their system, which is what's it called? It's actually got a name. I should probably use
Sedative?
that. But it's like marijuana basically.
Yep.
But powerful. Let's see.
So is it a recreational drug or a sedative? Or both?
Recreational.
Hmm.
Bought illegally. This is a high law world, so yeah.
Okay, so
And-
was an autopsy? Oh, sorry, go on. I didn't mean to cut you off.
I was about to ask that exact same question.
Okay, was the autopsy already done? Or yes?
No autopsy has yet occurred.
Okay, so that suggests that the parts were not removed by the police force.
Mm,
In theory.
agree.
In terms of time of death and the arrival at the morgue, what was the time difference?
Let's see. They were found in the very early in the morning, like sort of 4 a.m. And they were taken to the morgue pretty much straight away. So time of death anywhere between sort of 2 and 4. Well, no, actually, sorry, that makes it sound like they don't have modern technology. Time of death was about 2 a.m. in the morning. Actual, time of discovery is 2 hours later.
Okay, cool.
Oh,
yep, go on.
yeah, no, you won't know that. Yep, no, that's cool.
Did we get the address from the place? Wait, the address where it was found? The hotel, you said?
Yep. So they were found in effectively a single room in what's known as a Travelers Aid Society hostel. So these are like reasonably cheap hostels found on most planets, actually. So they're almost a sort of guild-like structure that floats across the entire Imperium. So basically, they rent out rooms per night. They're kind of flophousey type of stuff.
Like with the YHA.
Yes, like the YHA. It's a good
That
model.
seems like a very cheap place for someone so rich to be staying. So could it be that well, so either they were hiding or they were visiting whoever was registered there. I think either way, we can agree that our next stop would be there. I don't think there's anything else we're likely to find here.
I wholeheartedly agree, sir.
I I mean, the only other thing we can do is, as we like space Uber, future Uber over there, would be if we can find out who the room was registered to.
I think we'll be able to find that from here, because if this is like a flop house, then people would probably just register under dodgy names. Is my thought.
Okay.
Now, one side note is that so the single shot to the heart was highly localized, quite powerful. Interestingly, did not penetrate all the way through the body. So effectively just straight into the heart and then stopped. Which does have the person who undertook the examination a bit stunned.
Oh, I thought the examination wasn't done.
Oh no, that's a good point. I did say that.
Like an initial report before the full autopsy.
Yeah.
Okay, that's fine.
You're not sure there's going to be an autopsy to be up front. Like, it looks like a pretty clean cut case of they were shot through the heart with a single weapon. They've got drugs in their system and they're found in a flop house.
In that case, I mean, is my scan kind of enough to give us that kind of enough to get us data that we can then analyze later, like an autopsy, or would we want to do like a quick slice and dice here now?
No, you can. Yeah, no, you can take the scan material and treat it to create three-dimensional models of the body and its internal organs.
Is there any indication that something stopped? You said it didn't go all the way through. Is there any indication something stopped it? Like he had inbuilt armor or something?
Not that you can see. It just looks like it just stopped.
Okay.
Is it still there? I wonder.
I pull up the 3D scan, like a CAT scan view.
So they were shot with some sort of high energy weapon, not with a projectile weapon. So
right.
Okay.
So just burned its way in.
So how long has he been here? Was this like yesterday?
Yeah.
Yeah, cool. So we could go to the place and just ask something.
Yeah, that's where I reckon we go next.
Yeah.
Let's. In fact, I'm already calling Space Uber.
All right, beautiful.
All right, Space Uber arrives. You all bundle in. You head over. So the flop house is in not too remote from where you guys normally are staying, because it's the sort of low end of town. It's probably closer to the high port, you know, sort of space. It's you walk up and it's kind of like how not that I've ever been in one, but it's kind of like how I imagine sort of those micro Japanese hotels sort of situations work. There's a single person,
the hour.
Yeah, there's a single person operating a counter at the front, and basically you buy the ticket to, wherever, you buy a key and it tracks and discounts against your credit amount every couple of hours that it's active, and then when you hand it back in, it stops charging against your credit account.
Might I suggest then that we take on the role of police officers investigating the dead body? And that might get us access to records that strangers normally wouldn't get access to. And if not, the big laser.
Persuasion delivered at the end of a gun.
Yep.
Okay. Okay. Well, you rock up. There's a somewhat largish sort of human standing there behind the counter. He's got the security screens up because it's a rough part of town. Although weapons not such a big deal, so it's mostly just a steel screen to stop people stabbing him.
Can I just ask a few questions before?
Yeah.
Okay. So my first question is, do you have is there like a group of people, or like a cafeteria or common area where people might be gossiping and thing at all?
Oh, inside the
Yeah.
like a
Yeah,
hostel
other-
sort of
Yeah, other people
cafeteria
might.
type thing.
Yeah, other people might be, you know, who have been there at the same time.
Is there? Yes, there is. Yep, but it is on the other side of the door.
All right, so we'll get in first. Okay, so I'm happy to go anyway, guys. But I have another ability called Gather Intelligence that requires a group of people, and these people will just talk to me and give me over information. So how do you want to go? Like, can somebody else do the cop thing, or like we could go in and just buy a ticket?
Yeah, I mean, I think it probably both, right? A few of us go and buy tickets, and then somebody else comes and does the cop thing.
Well, could I use my tech skills if I buy a ticket to reconfigure it for the room?
Yeah,
Would
you
that-
don't think the
Yep.
security on these doors is, top market stuff?
Yeah. So myself and one other person can go in and do that, like gain access to the whole area like that, and then you guys can go in as cops and get access to records and things.
All right, so
Yeah, I'm just
who's
checking
joining?
I might join. I'm just having a look at my ciphers.
Who wants to do the cop thing?
So I'm probably doing the cop thing.
The two speakers should do the cop thing, right?
But if I do the cop thing, I probably won't be able to do the gather
I can't
intelligence.
do doctor.
because-
Yeah.
Well, you could get Kush to be the cop because he's a speaker.
All right. Well, that could.
He's had the most
persuasive.
experience with cops of all of us, I suspect.
Ah, yes,
In
the
a way,
betrayer.
He's got deceiving. He's got persuasion, not persuading.
Patry.
Don't mind me. I'm
He's
just
got good-
rolling
he's
my
got-
cipher
he's-
levels. Don't mind me.
He's got good English.
That's right. He's got fast talk.
Yeah.
And electric.
Yep.
Cool. All right.
All right. So, Kush, are you happy to be the cop?
Yep, I am. I'm happy to be the cop.
All right. So, a couple of you just buy tickets. We'll worry about you in a second. So, we'll just go to the people who are pretending to be police, which I think is Antos and Kush. Am I getting that right?
Yep.
Okay. So, Kush rather. Kush, over to you, Blue Leader.
Good morning. I'm here to conduct some preliminary investigations regarding the murder scene. Raise my voice as I say that and look around.
He's just like, well, it was checked out yesterday. I thought, one of your folk came in and checked it out.
Yeah, there are some discrepancies with the body. It appears that
Wow.
Uh,
it had too many cavities.
Oh,
one too many.
okay. Okay. Well, I've never had that happen before. Too many
Never had
cavities.
cavities.
Have you had too many murders in this joint here?
It doesn't happen very often. We're law-abiding people in this hostel, of course.
Well,
Look,
We need
and he
to-
points
we need
to
to
he
ascertain-
points to a camera. He points to a camera and goes, "Look, it's right there.
well,
See, we
need to
record
ascertain,
everything that happens."
everything.
Yeah,
We need to ascertain.
yeah, we back it up every day, and so that when when you people ask for it, we can just hand it over and be very good and compliant. We adhere to the rules.
Very well. Well, I would like to have a look at that. But I'll also need to examine the crime scene to determine the cause of this excessive cavitation.
Okay, can I get a fast talk roll? Is it fast talk? What does fast talk give you?
It's a 1 intellect point, which gets covered by my edge.
And
If
you
they can
get,
understand me and not hostile, I can convince them to take one reasonable action in the next round.
it's hard to argue. So one reasonable action is he gives you access to the
tapes.
video. Yeah.
Yep.
So yeah, you get access to the video. So you guys can watch it. It's pretty, like, you can scan through it. So your big aha is you can see a video where Vlen actually arrived at the hostel with 2 other individuals.
Not, I mean, anything distinguishing? Are they people we recognize, or
You don't recognize them. They are reasonably. One's very big. One's quite thin. And
Are they
you
human?
see, yeah, both human. You see Vlen arrive with the 2 of them. Vlen and the 3 of the 3 of them go along the corridor and assumably into a room. About a half an hour later, the big one is seen leaving. And then about 15 minutes after that, they return. And this is all happening sort of between 12 a.m. and 2 a.m. in the morning. So it's about 1:45 when they return. And then the camera blanks out.
And doesn't
The
come
guy
back.
goes, "Oh yeah, look, there was a power interruption. Like we lost all power in the building. It was very weird, but it came back up pretty quickly. But unfortunately, yeah, there's this gap of time in the recordings."
And is that the only camera that we have here?
Well, it's the one we're mandated by law to have, so we're very adherent to the law.
He's got
That's
other
very
cameras.
good to hear.
I'm not
Push.
here. I'm already in.
Would you like to accept or refuse my intrusion?
Oh, I would love an intrusion.
Can I have the XP?
All right,
Thank you.
there you go.
All right, Kush, you have a flashback. You remember being late at night in a Highliner with Vlen when all of the power went down in the corridor and it turned pitch black and you ran away like a screaming little puppy. And you have this complete flashback to that trauma because you were genuinely terrified you were going to die. And so you suddenly get these shakes and you're not able to control your fear very well, and you can see that it is washing out from you. And Antos, can I get an intellect defense roll from you, please?
Absolutely.
It's a pretty low grade effect at this point.
At this point. Oof.
Good thing I
Okay.
didn't waste any effort on it.
Yeah, very good. So both of you, any activity you do for the next 2 hours will suffer a 1 penalty, as in it'll be the effort of that
One
activity
more
will be
difficult.
increased by 1.
Is that how inability works in general? I think we looked at an inability.
Yes, so you're
Yeah.
getting inability. They're getting effectively a temporary inability
In everything.
in everything.
Well, that's okay. The good news is if you roll a 1, you can't pass anything anyways, no matter how hard it is.
Well, we just went back down. It's a 20 next. That's how
It's
you
a
do
20 next. Yeah, good point. Thank you.
19, I think.
Thanks,
You rolled a
Andrew.
2. It's just a balance. All right, so
Subsequent to that vision,
yes.
did
Yeah.
either of the men who escorted Vlen in, or who visited Vlen,
Yeah.
did they resemble the staff aboard the Highliner?
No.
Because I remember someone was chasing me with an energy weapon toward the
That's
highline.
right. There was someone chasing you with an ninja weapon.
One of the
No,
crew.
it was not. Well, you don't have very good memories of it, and probably digging into the trauma is not helping.
There's some blanking.
There's some blanking. Can I get a perception roll? Oh, actually, hold on. No, Kush, you've got like dangerous scenarios abilities, don't you? Don't you have something about escape danger, flee from dangerous, whittle your way
Yep.
out of trouble? Discerning people's true motives or seeing through lies.
Yep.
Can you make a discerning people's true motives or seeing through lies roll for me, please?
Sure.
God, just specialized in it. Okay. Well, this will be an easy roll, he says, famous last words, followed by a 1. Okay.
No.
It was almost a 20. Did I saw how close? I mean, I know it's not really how it works, but yet at the same time, it's so persuasive. All right. So here's the thing. Lots of people in the Imperium are taught the danger signs of psionics are da-da-da-da-da. And I did make the comment earlier that it was Antos and the big guy who's standing in front of you. And he's looking at you with this kind of vaguely terrified smile, like there's nothing to see here. And you can see his hand doing this.
I was going to say, can I reach
counter.
into his? Can I reach into his mind and
No,
erase?
you're
I'm not even
somewhere
there.
else. You're
Shit.
not
I
even
would
there.
like to activate my mind meld in that case.
My mind is melting. Does that count?
Okay. What does your mind meld do?
I have to find. Have to generate a level for it first. Although it doesn't seem to have an effect. Level. Unless the user speak telepathically with creatures they can see within short range for up to 1 hour. I can't read their thoughts except those that are specifically transmitted.
Okay. It doesn't seem to matter what levels. So I guess it would matter if they were trying to block you. Then it would be like.
I might
does
as well
your thing
roll it now.
exceed-
So level 6.
6. Yeah. Hey, it's
Side
better
for
than
side.
Dan was getting for his ones. 1 and a 2. Hilarious. Anyway,
I'd like
right.
to complain to management.
Yeah, no, it was fair. But I like that you rolled a 1 on a D10. It was very on point for how your dice rolling is going tonight.
I sent you the thing.
All right.
I will
Kush.
speak telepathically to him.
Yeah.
And attempt, I guess, to fast talk him.
Right. Okay. You're trying to persuade him because it's reasonable. The word reasonable is used in the definition of fast talk.
Reasonable might be a.
A
might be a
reasonable action
bit of
must be agreed, and it can't be wildly out of character, which would be the bit I suspect you're going to run into.
I would like to say to him telepathically, "You have been activated. Please stand by for further orders."
You have 15 minutes to reach minimum safe distance.
Okay. Okay. You're deceiving him. I would interpret that to be. I think that's a fair comment.
Yeah.
Okay. You've got deceived. So fill your boots would be my line.
Okay.
You got it because he's not actually that tough. Right, but he's like, oh my god, and he thinks back to you. Am I a Zodani spy?
I say nothing.
Oh my
I do not
god!
even
Oh my
respond.
god! It explains everything. He's like, oh, So that explains why I've been in this dead end job for so long, because I've been secretly, masking my real abilities. I've already alerted the authorities to the presence of a telepath. What do I do?
Telepathic.
Oh no, he's saying this in his mind, right?
Yeah, because he's
So I'm not
Zodani.
privy.
He's
Okay.
like, he's
Yeah,
like,
yeah.
this.
I'm sorry, sir. Are you all right? You seem to be in some distress.
Are you saying this in? I assume in words,
Out
not
out
in
loud.
telepathic. Yeah.
Yeah, in actual
Wow.
words.
Now you're gaslighting him. This is mean.
He's like, holy shit, what's going on? He's looking around. He sees you say that. He looks around some more. He looks out the window. He's very paranoid.
Should I call a paramedic?
No. There's nothing wrong. He leans back, and you can see him reaching down to get something from behind the counter.
I step around
So
the
you're
side of the
behaving
counter.
strangely. Could you please leave your hands where they're visible?
He kind of lifts his hands up, and then he looks at you really hard. He's like, he narrows his eyes and he scrunches his forehead. And he's like, and then he opens one eye. And you heard telepathically because you've got the connection. Sorry, I should point out. Die.
Excuse me. I need to step outside. I'm not feeling very well.
Oh my.
Oh. So good.
Okay.
And then
Is this just
I'll-
the game where we now
I'll
just
walk
force
outside.
shit on minor NPCs for the whole campaign? Is that now the game we're in? Because I didn't get the.
There's going to be a horde of mind-fucked NPCs chasing us at the end.
There is,
Just
yeah,
very
exactly.
minor people whose
Everyone's being
brains are
gaslit.
broken. Oh,
So all I can say is some NPCs rise to their Jason Bourne moment, and others don't.
all right. Well, you do that, and we'll deal with what happens next. Okay. So the people who've broken into the room, it's really. I'm not even going to make you roll. It's really easy to crack the key. It's not intended to be anything more than a little fob that lets you through the door. So you're in the room. What do you want to do?
I've got an ability called lab analysis for exactly these situations. So I spend XYZ minutes looking for clues.
And can I also assume at the same time that Orcus has peeled off to go and chat to the people in the cafeteria? And Razko, where are you putting yourself?
Look, I'm just helping with the hacking, right?
Okay.
Although I
all
don't
right.
really have that. My true hacking skill is looking around corners and calling out. Like I'm looking at my stats, and I don't really have. I am purely a navigation boy, which is good, but we're not navigating right now.
Any second now. Any second now.
I've got the maps of Earth right here.
Okay, so, all right. So, you're looking
I
at.
did have
So
escape.
describe to me your lab analysis ability.
Where is it? I had it open a second ago. Here it is. Let's share it.
Ooh, 3 intellect points. Wow.
Which I have.
Did get
Yeah. To do, you must collect samples from scene, paint, wood scraping, 2d 20 minutes to complete though.
Yes, so it's not instant, but I'm basically just running around gathering clues.
Okay, can you just roll the 2d20 for me, please?
Sure.
Which you can do by clicking on the little 2d20 thing box there that'll just fire off the dice.
Roll. Oh, good. What
40
the actual
minutes.
heck?
2 20s. 2 20s.
Can I get
That's
all.
can I get a GM extrusion on that bullshit? Because that is bullshit.
No. But it's funny. Okay. All right. So you're scanning deeply. It's going to take you a while to get all the evidence, mostly because you're peeling away all of the other evidence of all of the other crimes that have happened in this room. And
I want to make it
trying
very
to
clear
find-
I'm not bringing a black light to this scene.
No, it's not a pretty picture. All right, so that's happening. Orcus, you're chatting.
Yes. So my ability is called gather intelligence. It assumes I'm intelligent or I'm surrounded by intelligence. So basically, it says you
We're
can
nowhere
ask
near you,
around
so you're safe.
about any topic you choose and come away with useful information. You can be specific. You can ask specific questions, or you can ask for general questions or even obscure details. Okay. So I'm going. What's basically the? Actually, you know what? I'm going to do the roll first, and then I'm going to see if it's how I play this out.
Okay, go for it.
Did that work? Have you set the thing yet?
Oh, it costs 0 points, so you just click it and it works. Yeah.
Oh, I rolled it. Yeah, so there was some pretty nasty shit going on down here. Did you anybody see anything? What was going on? Anyone hear anything?
They were all a bit quiet at first, but obviously you're very good at getting people to open up.
The fucking
I love
fusion
the fact that
teleporting in.
this is all happening while you're like wearing a floating power suit. It's just, hey guys.
He's got a moustache, okay, and everyone loves the moustache.
Everyone loves the moustache, and you've opened up your visor, so you've got a. So to your point, you've got the little mist thing going off every now and then to keep the skin nice and glistening. Scented. So no, but what? But they do admit that it was all a bit weird. Is probably their biggest point. Like, the cops came. They did some quick and dirty stuff. The detective who came though asked lots of questions, and that's what was weird. So people have died here before. It doesn't tend to get a lot of attention. This is one of those places where people die. And usually the police aren't that interested. Ooh, new? That'll do it. Thank you. So Detective Body was asking a lot of questions about some sort of did this guy have some relationship with like what's the name of it?
We don't really have any background on do we?
No,
really.
Well, we know that he was a crime lord. That's about it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, his pals.
And he was connected to the Omicron folks, wasn't he? Or at least had run-ins with them.
Yes. Well, he knew who they were because he knew them before
because he was a collector.
Up. Yeah. Yasha. There was a lot of questions being asked about Yasha.
Right. Okay. Yasha. Man, never heard that name before. But what about the two dudes that came in with him? Like, they look pretty serious.
Yeah, well, that's what he was saying because he was wondering. Well, he was asking us lots of questions about them because apparently they have some relationship with this Yasha guy.
All right, cool. All right. Do you know who like, is he a known dude?
They all look at each other for a moment. They look at you.
I'm off well, bros.
Yeah, like
heard it was crazy.
Yasha, you don't know who Yasha is?
Nah, man.
Like he's a crime lord.
Oh, heavy.
Yeah, like he runs. He's this kind of he's really scary dude, man.
Right. Okay. Well, this fucking dolphin does not need that kind of heavy shit. Oh.
Yeah. No, you don't want to cross Fenyasha. He's bad.
Wow. Does he
Yeah.
like run the whole town here, or is he off
Well-
planet? Like, should I be leaving the planet since I asked his name? Kind of shit, dudes.
Well, I mean, I would. It's just one of them, if I could. I don't know. I don't know. This is a yeah. Wow. I don't know. What have you done? Stuff that would piss him off? That's what they literally.
Not yet. I hope.
Well,
I
I'd
just
stay on
fucking
that
landed.
side of that line. I'd stay on that side of that line. All right. Let's
Seems
see.
fucking- All
if
right.
that is now working. Dan, can you hear us? Dan. Okay. Boom. All right. So you're doing that. At this point, you hear before they arrive, you hear sirens.
Oh fuck.
I because we've just wandered away from the receptionist friend of ours, and I kind of know where these guys were going. So I poke my head into the common area and just kind of signal to Orcus, just like not saying anything, but giving the.
Do we have like comms? Like, I have a fucking
Oh, we do, don't we?
power suit. Can
Yeah,
we get
we had this.
comm
I
out
think we
people?
had this last time. Yeah, you've got comms.
Yeah.
Yeah, sure.
Yeah.
Okay,
all right,
then
well,
that seems like the high tech version of guys. Let's get out of here.
time.
Yeah. Let's do it.
Cheers, bros. Good talking to you.
Yeah.
Hey,
Okay.
fellas. Hey, fellow kids.
Okay. So you're all
Thank
departing.
you for your assistance. I
I'll
think I'm
ass-
going to attend a hospital. I believe I have a pulmonary embolism. Thank you for your time.
That's great.
Okay. Okay. So the last telepathic message you get as you're leaving is, I don't know if I should run or not, or should I just use my powers to kill the police when they arrive?
Oh no.
What
Run.
do you say,
Never
kid?
stop running.
Run. yeah.
All right. So the last thing you guys see of the guy who was at the front counter is him running down the road. Kind of racing off away, and then you see a siren vehicle chasing him down
Oh my god.
because he's not that good at hiding. All right. So that happens. I kind of need to wait for Dan to rejoin because I feel bad if I give you what he discovered bit.
Was he in Discord posting? I thought I saw him.
He's jumping. He said I can't hear anything moving to another device. He said he's moving to another device. So, but he hasn't rejoined yet. So, oh, there he is. Okay, does that fix it, Dan? Hello.
I appear to have returned. That was super.
Hey, there it is. All right, your timing is perfect. So, quick, the world's fastest recap. Information was gathered tying the two criminals to a major criminal mastermind / overlord. They got the guy who was at the front counter to run off down the street thinking that he's a secret Zodani spy on the run now. The last you see of him is he's being chased down by a police vehicle. And I was just about to share what you had discovered in the room. So you go through the room and you do a lot of analysis. It's pretty clear that So a couple of really well, maybe not significant, but a couple of really key things is there was a power outage for exactly 5 minutes at sort of 2 a.m. to 2:05 a.m. That seems to have affected the whole hotel and some areas of surrounds. That power outage appears to have no point of initiation. So everything stopped working at exactly the same time. Like it wasn't like a circuit breaker was tripped, right? So it doesn't have a single point of, you can't locate something that stopped working. Everything stopped working at the same moment instantaneously.
Kind of like an EM blast or something.
It's the kind of
Yeah.
it's the kind of stuff that we're dealing with, energy absorbing stuff.
You also find, did he just drop? Damn it. You also find a data chip.
Sick.
Hey, reflective shiny armor. It says woven fibers. That's basically a thing I can just wear casually and look like a weird fashion victim, right?
Correct.
Or underneath my clothes.
Yep. It adds to your current
Awesome.
armor. It can be worn with your armor.
I don't want to see
I
that
just
our
wanna wear
roles
it.
are affecting my real life technological abilities. However,
The EMP blast.
I'm getting EMP blasted at the wazoo.
So the thing you might have missed is you definitely missed is you found a data chip.
Yes. All right. So I'm not even though I'm a hardware techie, I'm not a software techie. So who's our most software techie?
Yeah,
Interesting.
that'd be me. Yep.
All right. But so what I might hand that over to my little servo robot and say, go get it, go give it to Ansos. Off you go, boy.
God, since you all got new abilities, you've gotten way weirder. I just like as a general theme, just way weirder. You're all.
This tiny little.
This is
robot
why
comes
the
snuggling
Imperium
up
is
to you.
so not okay with psychic or psionic abilities. This is the real reason, because people do weird shit when they've got psionic abilities, like cruelly play jokes on completely innocent citizens of the Imperium.
Yeah.
Like, what are you guys doing to really,
I don't know,
improve the
man.
reputation of psionics in the Imperium? Absolutely nothing. Like,
As I
In my
pondered
defense,
that, I
Honor,
finished-
in my defense, Your Honor, I have no way of knowing whether or not he is in fact a Zerdani agent.
Bestie goes in for questioning.
you might have just unlocked his psychic abilities.
I finished off the last of the chocolate salt and pretzels.
Right, yeah, no, fair. Okay, so there's the data chip, and you found out that there was no point of initiation, that all of the electronics that shut down automatically within 50 meters.
Yeah.
The
So
other
energy
things,
gem nonsense.
yeah, energy. Well, it's a bit different to the energy gem in that it's not an energy drain. They literally just stopped working. Mind you, I guess probably similar in effect. So let's see. What do you know? Oh, 3 other men. Sorry, my apologies. It was 3 other men. 2 of the figures are clearly visible. The 3rd visitor. It's reddish hair. They order drink.
One thing I'd like to do or get information on is if we can follow their movement enough to get their vehicle, if that's an option at all.
The vehicle was stolen.
I might as well get that fucking level 1 tracer thing. That's all.
Hold on. Sorry, what are you putting the tracer on?
Although, if we could get a lead on their vehicle, then I could use that level 1 tracer cipher that I rolled earlier.
Wow, just the level of sadness there. The drug was called Tusal. Not that matters very much, but it was called Tusal. Yeah, so there's a data chip.
My tiny little
Well, let's
Wally
read what's on the
type
data.
robot is bringing it over to us.
Yeah, and so I assume we're legging it so that we don't get cornered
Wrapped up
by.
in the investigation of the
That's
what
right.
the hell's
Yep.
going on at the thing. Yep. And also the reality of being false police people being investigated by the police does.
There's no evidence of that.
No.
No evidence
It's-
of that because the
all-
evidence
all
branch
you've got
reading
is-
down the road.
The word of a Zidane spy. You
Well,
can't
he
trust
does
anything he
words.
says.
An unfortunate
Uh.
psychotic break.
By the way, there's a news flash about 4 hours after you leave the building saying
Oh no.
psionic infiltrator discovered in, in Taz Hostel, and then underneath it in a ticker tape kind of, message is stay vigilant for psionicists are everywhere.
If you think
Starship
something,
Trooper.
say something.
That's right. Our last Starship Troopers, sort of, do you want to know more? Or is that Babylon 5? Maybe it was Babylon 5. Do you want to know more? It was.
No, do you
Babylon
want to know
5.
more Starship Troopers?
No, it's from Starship Troopers.
Okay.
Would you like to know more?
Would you like
to know more? That's right.
Yeah. But anyway,
I
that's,
assume,
4 hours later.
I assume we head back to our joint.
Yeah.
Where the delivery guy came to hole up behind our very high security door.
Your much better camera.
Yep. I plug in the data chip to, a data pad we've got lying around that's nicely isolated and useful for these sorts of things.
Yep.
And see what's on it.
Okay. It's not encrypted at all. There's a whole bunch of information about a researcher who is investigating methods for locating ancient sites. So they're like doing a doctorate in it.
Does it look familiar to us? Like we've seen a lot of this stuff now, right? Like, does this look like some researcher who's onto something, or who is?
So
another doctorate?
the researcher's name is Professor Ujinka, Ujinka, and she's doing a whole bunch of research on G-band detection, using the G-band in ship communication systems to detect signals from remnant ancient sites. And apparently this has happened once before, and she's researching whether that can be used to detect other ancient sites dotted around the Spinwood Marches.
And so these are her notes. So this is like,
well, it's like her research paper that she's written on it. Attached to it is a note saying, effectively there's a bank transfer note that suggests that a significant amount of money, not astronomically significant, but noticeable amount of money has been recently transferred to Ujinka by Glenn Beckett.
Okay. So the leads we've got are basically Ven, Yasha, and a professor. It seems more wise to go and talk to a professor than a crime lord.
Agreed. Otherwise, we'll get murderated.
Yep.
Or, do some murdering,
Speaking
which is equally noisy.
Speaking of
said crime lord, would my knowledge of the criminal underworld
be relevant? Yeah.
be relevant?
You could...
What does Venyasha do here in Regina? What's his specialty?
Smuggling.
Okay.
So ships in and ships out a lot of stuff. But also kind of a scary dude, for want of better language. So doesn't do large scale drug operations or anything like that, but effectively operates this smuggling business has their hands in a bunch of financial crime, and the few people who've gone up against him, because there's always someone who thinks that whatever you're doing would be better off done by them, have not gone well. That's tended to end poorly for those people, and poorly in a really public way, like, you know, people killed, their bodies left in very public places to remind everyone that really Ben Yasha would prefer not to be disturbed by people who think that they should have Ben Yasha's business. So a lot of the criminals on the planet are working pretty hard to stay below the visibility of the police and the radar of the police, because it's a very high law world and they have lots of information access. Ben Yasha seems to almost take the opposite approach, which is public death is just fine, which is actually kind of even more terrifying for a lot of the people in the underworld. Because who's in his pocket? That kind of question.
Mm.
If you want to make a roll for your knowledge skill, you can sort of try and identify a connection to Ben Yasha.
Yeah.
Just let me set the difficulty for that, which, by the way, is 5.
Oh, well, you're wrong on a 20, so it doesn't matter. It's all good.
No, the last roll. Oh no, the last roll was a 9. Okay, yeah. Roll before that was 2 20s though, so
Waiting for the roll.
it's a
Oh, it was a
success.
94. That's why it's 11. Makes sense.
Yeah, that does
That's
make sense.
20.
It's the balance again. So Ben Yasha, you're able to locate that Ben Yasha has a factorum, whose name I'll just get. What's their name again? Exceedingly Discreet, I think. Is that their name? Exceedingly Discreet.
It's a good name.
And the reason you know about them is they belong to what are known as dandelions. Let me
You're gonna have to
see.
elaborate on that.
Let me see if I can show. Can I view character, view token? Show players. That's what a dandelion looks like.
Oh, that's cool.
That's not
3
cool.
legs.
3 legs, 2 arms, and a big fluffy body head thing going on top.
And it
But we know
feels like
that
a
makes them
gelatinous cube situation where they eat by just
Well, actually,
consume.
they're kind of reasonably famous for being shit at fighting of any form. They're a low G life form. They actually need like technology to support them on standard G worlds. But they are very famous for effectively every single member of the species has eidetic memory.
Kind of worried why someone this wimpy and exposed and potentially useful to rivals is fronting this guy.
Yeah.
Well, he may know nothing, but also may know lots of stuff.
Oh, famously,
Especially-
a memory, right? So,
Well, exactly. With that memory, he's got to know something.
But can he communicate it? I mean, he can remember everything, but if we can't get any of it out of him,
Do any of you guys have any kind of mind reading ability? You can erase their memories. Can you drag one out?
Not yet. Tier 3, I can.
oh,
that would,
Surely
that
they're
would be
right.
a psionic ability.
But surely, if they were communicating with Uncle, they've got some form of communication. If the hard part is more finding something that's of use to them.
So just to bring it to a close for this evening. So you have 2 leads, to your point. 1 point's at exceedingly discreet. Factorum for Vinyasha. And 1 point's at Professor Ujinka, researcher into the detection of ancient sites. So next session, we'll kick off with going whichever direction you want to head. It sounds like you're going to Ujinka first. I think that's where you kind of landed. We'll go out. Ujinka, by the way, lives just outside of the main city in a small sort of estate, a small, like, sort of semi-rural, for want of better language, location. So we'll kick off the next session with you guys traveling out there to talk to Ujinka. All good?
Sounds good. Yep.
Sounds good to me.
I'll say
Sounds
so, yeah.
like a plan.
Okay, I'll just end that. Ending.